Good morning, everybody. It's Cowboy, and I imagine the Gorilla will join us shortly. It is Wednesday the 15th, and we just had the PPI data come out, so we're going to take a look at the charts here pretty quick. But before we do, just want to throw up the QR code for those of you who might be new, maybe watching this on YouTube. Also, if you are watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe, follow, notification bell, all that stuff that you always tell people to do. But there it is, algofactory.tech. That's our website. Zap the QR code. Come find us. And if you want to know more about who we are and what we do, stick around until a little further into the episode. We'll get into that. But for now, we're going to jump straight into the content. All right. So let me drop this QR code out of here, and I'm going to share the screen. We're going to look at some charts. All right. There we go. Share. So don't let all that noise twist your eyes about. This is just a kind of a panelized version, screen of it's it's a lot of information right there, and in order to read that, that's just something that I built myself, so it's easy for me to read that, right? But I'm going to go ahead and bust out the EUR/USD. We'll look at a forex pair so we can see the PPI data and how it is affecting price right now. Okay, so we're looking at the 30-minute chart, and we made a little bit of money trading this yesterday. And basically, price was headed up due to the CPI data, right? So this is the Consumer Price Index data that was announced yesterday at the same time, right at 8:30 EST. And today, being the 15th, we got the PPI data that just got announced. And let me go ahead and update the screen here. We'll see what that data says. Looks like it's a little bit, little mixed. Actually, yeah, so the PPI itself was pretty, fairly lower than expected on both counts. The expected amount of of production price increase. Let's see if that's what that stands for. PPI production. I think it stands for producer price index. That's what it is. Wow, I'm just having a hell of a morning. All the stuff I know, I just can't even talk about. Long story short, this is inflation when it comes to being on the production side of things. So if you own, say, like a factory and you make goods, the input costs are going up for you and the labor costs are going up for you, right? And so this is what PPI is. And the core PPI excludes food and energy. And then, of course, you have the actual full PPI month over month, that does include those. And either way, the inflation was 0% month over month, meaning that the price of production did not increase from a core standpoint at all. And the price of production including food and energy actually decreased, went down by 0.5% when it was expected to go up by 1%. So either way, you're looking at a decrease in everything, and this should mean weakness in the dollar. But I think what's gone on here is it's being offset a little bit. We have the Empire State Manufacturing Index showing a pretty healthy manufacturing look, and the same with core retail sales. So those numbers are basically adding confidence to the economy. And so I think the PPI was overshadowed by yesterday's CPI, and the move in CPI was so strong that perhaps PPI is being negated. And then, of course, now that you kind of not cancel each other out, but you could say that in a way from a dollar strength standpoint, those data are canceling each other out, possibly just because PPI is almost like old news when CPI has come out, almost. But here's the thing. You got retail sales looking strong. You got Empire State Manufacturing Index looking strong, and very strong, actually. It was expected to, the manufacturing index was expected to contract, but now we see it actually expanding. Same with core retail sales. So if that's the case, then it looks like the market is just kind of not sure what to do with that. We're not seeing a lot of movement up or down. This is on a half-hour chart. It looks as if the dollar is actually going to see a little bit of strength. It looks like it also might be that money is entering, and the move up from yesterday is just naturally being allowed to retrace. I'm not seeing a huge reaction, just your kind of typical money was on the sidelines and now is back into the market. And the big players are kind of messing around with price. That's why we see this big wick up and move down. So it's not an exciting PPI necessarily, and that's fine. It's almost, in many cases, no news is good news. So I'm going to zoom in real quick here so that people can see the numbers on the right and left hand side as we begin to go through these charts. And I'm going to take a look at the comments. We have a handful of people on YouTube, not a huge number, but we really do at this point. We haven't really advertised yet. And then in the private group here, it's a pretty quiet morning. All right, cool. So that being the case, I am going to take a look at the euro and see if I do expect price to kind of come down after yesterday's big move up. So what you're looking at right now is a 5-minute chart. So each one of these bars, each one of these candles really is 5 minutes worth of price action. So the CPI being lower than expected caused the dollar to be weak and everything against it to be strong. So you have this big, large move up. And then it seems as if everything is normalizing at this point. So, just kind of a nice, slow, move downward. But, I didn't, what I like to do right now in the current market is look for a consolidation and then look for an exit of that consolidation for a play. And there was a little action to be had here, right after, during the European Open, a little bit of action. But given that the PPI was coming this morning, which is kind of, it can be a powerful metric, I didn't want to jump into a trade at midnight only to have to, get up at 5:30 to find myself stopped out. Actually, I tend to get up closer to like 4:30, but at either way, and that's midnight my time, 4:30 my time. So it's a little bit different for, if we're going to measure everything at EST, but I'm talking about my own kind of way of thinking on this. And if there's going to be large data coming out the next morning, I tend not to enter a trade overnight unless I'm going to babysit it and stay up and play that, and be able to manage it and take profit if I see an algorithmic exit. So in this case, I left the trading alone, and that's fine. It just seems to be creating a larger range. We'll see how the rest of the day reacts. Let's see what we have in store. No news for the rest of the day, really. If you do trade oil, they are going to measure the crude oil inventories. I don't know, I imagine they'll be less than expected only because of the drawdowns on the special reserve. I don't even know if that's counted in this. I don't really use this kind of data, but if you do trade oil, you might want to pay attention to this. Obviously, if see what it says, change the number of barrels crude oil. Okay, so actual less than forecast good for currency. So I think what that means is that if the inventory is less than the forecast amount, then dollar gets strong. But it's a medium impact event. So for the rest of the day up until later in the evening around 7:30 EST, we don't really have any news. And then we have some Aussie dollar news, employment data. So if you're trading the Aussie dollar, that's probably where that matters. Tomorrow we have unemployment claims, as we do every week. So that, being that is a weekly metric, it shouldn't have a humongous effect unless it is a humongous disparity between the expected number and the reported number. And of course, just a reminder, what the real number is versus the reported number, that's not a big concern for us as traders right now. Look, if you're kind of watching everything and you're, everything's fake and you want to measure how, inaccurate data is, that's fine. There's value to that. I'm not putting that down, but as traders, that's not that important. Really, what matters is what the charts are telling us, and the data that comes out can make a difference. For example, yesterday's CPI was a very strong disparity to the downside, which means that the euro against the dollar, or anything against the dollar, got a lot stronger in comparison. And it was a sustained move off of which we were able to profit yesterday. So at least I was. And I did tell everybody, hey, I'm jumping in the euro, I'm going to scalp it out, and made myself a few steak dinners, nothing too extravagant. And of course, that's that's one thing that I'll say that I'm doing. If your research matches my research and you're in our private group, then of course, you'll be taking a trade based on your own research. And, it's a nice thing where I can say, hey, I'm doing this. And then it might give you some clues where to look. And, money is made that way, I suppose. But the point here is that tomorrow at this time, again, will be more data coming out. And the move yesterday was so strong that I think the market is going to need to kind of consolidate a bit and digest it. And it appears that, again, right now, it would not surprise me to see, we'll do a quick measurement here. It would not surprise me to see the euro head back down to this like $7.70, because right now that this particular move down looks pretty notable. It might be that the market was waiting to like do anything, and yeah, from what I'm seeing, a temporary move down is pretty realistic here. At least down to that level that I just marked out. Let's see if I can add some more data to that. Okay. Refine this. I would probably take some profit. I mean, you could, I might front run that 618, but I tend to want to take profit where there's a bit more volume here on the fixed range. It's probably where I'd want to take profits. So I wouldn't short at this point because this is on the 30-minute. So I probably would drop down to say the 5-minute to look for opportunities, and then the market should pull back. This move down that you're seeing shouldn't continue to sink. If it does, there's just not enough risk to reward for me. But it is a nice breakout point. One could take a risk and use this low time frame pullback right here as the stop. Let me let the gorilla in here. All right, we got the gorilla in the house. How are you, sir?
Very good, my friend. Very good. Very good. Very pumped up, very pumped.
Oh my god. Let me see here. I'm just kind of looking at a possible little scalp here on the 5-minute chart for the euro. Yeah, we had the I was kind of explaining to the audience here, like 570, 590. The data yesterday was pretty robust. The CPI was a lot lower than expected. So you have this, if you look at the screen, you have this massive move upward. It was sustained, and we being me, I don't know who else, but profited on this move up yesterday in the group. I actually said, hey, I'm going to scalp out. I'm going to enter the euro, and I was able to pull out some stake dinners. So I wasn't like I was putting a lot of money into it. Mm-hmm. But I may go ahead and I'm tempted to take a small risk, like right here. It's pretty good. It's over 2 to 1 risk to reward. Using this as using this kind of pullback wick and then rejection back to the downside as an entry. It would be probably more prudent to look for a move like a bearish retest and then take the trade. Or one could split the difference. It's just a lot of money was sitting in the sidelines. We had some mixed data. It's kind of a weird morning. So, I may on my trade station here enter, like I said, a small position and see if I can pull out a stake dinner out of that. Nothing extravagant, but if I get a pullback and I can really take advantage of that, then I may actually, do a stronger trade. But as it stands right now, you can see that, things are moving, in a retracement manner, meaning that there might be a little bit of a pullback right now. I'm going to try to read the algos and see what chance of a pullback we have. Decent chance of pullback, low time frame. The move down, I think, will not be sustained. I think, the general look right now is dollar weakness. So what we're seeing is kind of the dollar taking a breath from headed down, right? So again, when I say dollar weakness, remember, we're looking at the euro versus the dollar, okay? So it's the euro on the top left here, EUR, USD. Dollar is on the right side. So it's the euro compared to the dollar. So as the dollar gets weak, the euro gets strong. This is why yesterday's CPI caused such a high move up in the euro, it's not that the euro got any stronger necessarily on its own, it's that the dollar got weaker, right? But you can see already this pullback is happening. And so we'll be able to possibly take advantage of this pullback on a lower time frame. See here, this blue, let's undo that. Let's lock that. You can, what the hell? Okay, there we go. You can see that pullback is like happening live time. So had I entered and got all excited and like I'm gonna go, I'd already be halfway to my stop loss. You see that? You see how I kind of called it would do this. So this is why, you know, being prudent matters, because let's just say that I still believed in this trade as I have it drawn. Instead of a 2.34, that's the risk to reward. Instead of risking $100 to make 234 or 1,000 to make 2340, I would be actually risking 100 to make 700 now, right? Or 1,000 to make 7,000. So this is why we don't want to just freak out and jump into trades, especially when price is sitting right at a support and bouncing back up. And this is why trading news can be a dangerous thing. But still, I have some, you know, some algorithmic indication that price does want to fall, but I want to see this pullback kind of get digested and, you know, watch my algos and stuff like that. So, you know, this is the process, ladies and gentlemen, like right in front of you, right before your eyes. You're seeing, you know, how these things roll, you know, the wisdom of, oh, you know what, do I want to just jump into this trade, or do I want to see if maybe there's a pullback, you know? And yeah, if you are, you know, playing the consolidation breakout game, then that breakout would have had you even now at a loss, unless you're looking at a much lower time frame. So it's a good thing we held off, but we're going to keep an eye on this as we go through the rest of our morning. Let me take a quick look. By the way, if you're on YouTube, I know I said it already, but like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you have questions and you're watching this after the fact, you can ask those questions and I can see if I can answer them for you, you know, and even design a show around that, especially if you're an Algo Factory member. You know, that's pretty much what I do here. So let's just say that you're an Algo Factory member and you have a question, and it was about like a show 2 days ago, and that question is one that I think everybody could benefit from. Then, you know, that's beautiful, because I will make a whole show around that. Well, it's a good thing we didn't enter this trade, huh? Because now, even if I still believe in this trade, we're sitting at like a 15-1, which is this trade probably would have stopped out. But we're getting our pullback, and, you know, we'll pay attention. We'll see what happens here. So, all right, well, I'll open it up to some questions here. Does anybody have any charts that they want to see? And that includes you as well, Gorilla.
I want to see Bitcoin, but I want to see that in the private room.
Okay, we'll hold off.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll hold off. I think, do we have drips coming tomorrow?
Tomorrow, drip, drip, drippy, drip, baby.
So for everybody who, you know, for anybody who might be new watching this, can you explain to us what that means?
What a drip is, it's a little bit of a, you can call it an intelligence leak, an analysis, an intelligence report from basically is the institutional side of things. And these are the guys that I've known for a long time. These are my institutional sources. These are the guys that allow, you know, when I get out there and start saying stuff, it gives me an 80% hit rate on what the heck's going on before it happens. So exclusive only to Algo Factory. Every Thursday, I come with a juicy breadcrumb, a little juicy tidbit that helps to finally focus the madness and the chaos that's out there and give it meaning. Because you got to have meaning to the madness that's happening out there. Because when you see the narrative and you see what's actually happening, it just makes you a better trader. That's what the drip is all about.
Would you like say that kind of data, like, I'll tell you what it has done for me is it's helped me know which way the wind is blowing. It's helped me kind of plan to look for high time frame movement, whether it's continuation or reversal. Like, okay, and I'd say I'll add to that, it's really helped out when it comes to, say, knowing what my long-term investment should look like. That's what it's. And now it's not investment advice, but you're just giving us data that helps me do my own type
Correct.
of assessment, right?
Yep. Absolutely.
And cat food
people,
has been my main move on that.
And there's been trading firms, hedge funds that have taken the data that I brought and literally has turned that into a considerable, sizable amount of profit because they were able to hedge or prepare for what is to come. And that's the big difference maker here, folks.
Oh, here, let me see if I can find this. Oh, where did I see that last night? Where was that? Oh, shoot, it was on Twitter. I'll see if I can pull this up. So No Nonsense Forex had a funny. No Nonsense Forex is a good channel. Some of that DNA is in our system. As a matter of fact, in the way that we do things, some of VP's DNA is in there. So I do like that channel. But so I found it here. Let me bring this to the fore. We got Kathy Wood.
Oh God, I hate.
Don't miss out, she says. Crypto bull run is about to go effing whatever.
No,
all right,
idiot.
So Kathy Wood is out there, and she's.
This is a woman. This is a woman who, if in my company, I wouldn't even have her managing the books. She wouldn't even be answering telephones. That's how incompetent this woman is. Oh my God, a whack job.
Yeah, here it is on the screen. Kathy Wood is up there saying the bull run is going, and look, I don't,
She's going.
I don't know. She did well for a time, and but
anybody
really
can do well in a bull market.
That's just it. She did well in a bull market investing in tech.
My dog did well in a bull market picking stocks.
Yeah, exactly. So that said, this is what you have to watch out for in investment is talking your book, right? So we've talked about Bitcoin, what we think is going to happen to it, and Kathy Wood is saying.
Let me say this real quick.
Yeah,
Cowboy and I will talk about Bitcoin and all that stuff. Let me explain something to you guys. We don't give a F about crypto at the end of the day. We really don't.
No. Nope.
We don't care. We care as a means for you all to make a profit, to make a living, to be a vehicle that opens doors and possibilities for you. I am not one of these crypto bros. Bitcoin's gonna stop. It's gonna solve world hunger in Africa. Oh my God. Humanity's coming back as a crypto. No. That's not us. So we have a very pragmatic view. It's a tool, just like money. Cowboy and I, we ain't hyped about US dollars either. We're not hyped about fiat. We're not hyped about crypto. These are all tools. Good.
Oh yeah, it's if you get too excited about something, you're not going to treat it as in the most utilitarian manner. And we here at Rogue and Algo Factory are very utilitarian. If I were to think about stacking something, it might be like precious metals or something that is relatively fungible in a scenario where I might need fungibility. So everything comes down to how can I profit the most? How can I expand physical wealth in the biggest way? And I'm not a huge real estate fan, although I think there are opportunities there as well. I'm not putting it down. The reason I don't like real estate is because I can't push a button and sell it, right?
Yep.
It's you gotta list it. You gotta have people come look at it. It's like, what a pain in the ass, man. I want to push a button and sell it. That's how I roll. I don't. It's the same reason I don't get into a trade for like 4 months. It's like fingernails in a chalkboard for me. If I'm gonna hold something that's an investment, like Bitcoin, whatever. Here's the thing about it. Real estate goes up. I've profited very nicely on real estate, like especially the last few years. We ended up buying at a pretty good time in the hottest market in the nation, back in 2020. So it's not like it hasn't treated me well. But now what am I going to do with it? I'm going to sell it. I'm going to go put it in another piece of real estate. Like it's just the only way you can ever profit on it is to have rental properties. And then, of course, if you make somebody who's very important upset, they can just take it from you. I'm not interested in that, but whatever you like to stack wealth-wise, whether it's collectibles, precious metals, real estate, whatever your game is, crypto, dollars, all that stuff is a tool in order to stack that, right? If you like cat food and you think the world's going to end and you want to dig a hole and, put a concrete reinforced bunker with cat food and all that, crypto and money will help you buy that. Now, that's not the mentality that I have, but that is what some people like. And we're not going to judge you based on what you like. We aren't going to judge you at all. But what we are going to do is provide an opportunity for you, independent of a boss, independent of the ability to be fired, an opportunity for you to spend time building your own ability to create income. And that's what we do here at Algo Factory. In fact, I'm going to throw up the QR code. But the funniest thing about this, before we actually jump and let the gorilla get us out of here, is No Nonsense Forex VP says selling everything as soon as it says Kathy Wood. Crypto Ball VP's good, man. I look, I don't have any affiliation. I mean, I've talked to VP here and there, but I don't. He's not giving me anything for shilling him. I just think he's really good. But here you go. Short all the things. He says short all the things is one of the comments on there. It's very funny. So yeah, big sell signal, and I'm not disagreeing with him at all. I think, anytime you get somebody showing something too hard, they're talking their book, man. Kathy probably wants exit liquidity. She wants you to buy so she can sell. That's my guess. But hey, you know what? Whatever. We're here to make some money.
Her claim to fame, her rise to fame, she ran on the coattails of an idiot, Bill Huang. Bill Huang, who Wall Street thought he was a genius. Okay, not all Wall Street. The real Wall Street thought Bill Huang was a moron. But the woke Wall Street, the Davos side of Wall Street, thought that Bill Huang was a genius. Bill Huang's a moron. And I think he's sitting in prison right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think, wasn't he like the tiger trader, tiger investor or something? And
something like that, yep.
Yeah, some kind of Ponzi scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kathy Wood is whatever, dude. It's like Bill Ackman in the pandemic saying that hotels are going to go to zero. Literally, those words. Like, I think I'm 99% matching his words. Like Hilton is going to zero, or hotels could go to zero, or whatever. And then he's in there buying stocks in hotels. Like,
correct.
These people, they talk their book, right? So it is what it is, and you just have to understand that's what's going on. In the meantime, we're going to hop over to the private. We're going to take a strong look at Bitcoin. Anybody who has been watching is in the private. That move down in Bitcoin, we predicted it, and we predicted it the day that it happened. Okay, so I'm going to put it up on the screen before we go, just so you can understand the power of what we do. Let's see here. We had, I think it was Diane in our group, made some real good money. And it's not that she, we didn't give her investment advice or anything. We just said, like, hey, look, the algos are showing that Bitcoin has a real good chance of falling and falling hard. And that we said that yesterday morning at
same time.
What's it at now, Cowboy?
It went down to
we're in private now, right?
35,000. We're at 36 now.
We're in private
said
right
it. Say again.
We're in the private room.
No, we're not. No, we're just telling people in the public how we are pimps. Basically,
we are pimps.
We're pimps.
We are price pimps.
We're price pimps. And look, I'm showing everybody that yesterday. Today is the 14th, so the 13th. Around this time, what I said was chances are sooner or later, probably very soon, there's going to be a dump, right? And if you were to join Algo Factory, you could watch yesterday's video, and it's proven that I said this was probably going to happen, and it happened just as it did, just like this. And again, people shorted that, made some money, and shorting Bitcoin's a dangerous thing. But I called the move down. Somebody made money on it. So anyway, Gorilla, that's that, man. Get us over. Get us out of here.
Yeah, listen, guys. Don't be sitting on the sidelines wondering why life is passing you by. Join us, algofactory.tech. Trade your stinking job and upgrade your life. Be the boss of your own employment. Be the master of your own destiny. Algofactory.tech. Let's get on over, Cowboy. Let's get into Bitcoin. Let's get into the nooks and the crannies, the nitty and the gritties. Let's go.
Roger that.